a very interesting take on fundamental science, support for fundamental science, free play of free mind. Next speaker is Dr. Gitanjali Yadav, and she is a INIAS member, and so she will have 10 minutes to present her case on future science, the phytochemical landscape, and deep learning chemistry.
Thank you, Professor Singh.
Very interesting talks by great stalwarts today before us. I don't know what to say, no pressure. So I'm Gitanjali Yadav. I'm representing the Indian National Young Academy of Science, where I'm a national core committee member for biology. And I thank Professor Singh to give us a chance today to present the work that we're doing in INIAS from a research point of view, and to present in this particular symposium where we speak of science of India's tomorrow. My main agenda before coming here was to speak about the deep learning chemistry work that we've been doing in my laboratory. I have a small group at the University of Cambridge, Department of Plant Sciences, and a slightly larger group at the National Institute of Plant Genome Research in New Delhi. And the thing that I decided to do after listening to the other talks was to focus more on the way we have our, the way we've done our work in terms of the science of India's tomorrow. And that, the science of India's tomorrow in my sense would be first cross-disciplinary, second joining of the industry and academia. Many of our speakers today have focused on these aspects. So Tom Blundell finished his talk by mentioning something from Dorothy Hodgkins that he picked up, and I'm very happy to have picked it up from him today to take it forward, that the science of tomorrow has got to be international, transdisciplinary, and gender balanced. So the first thing that I did 3 years ago when I joined the University of Cambridge at the Downing site itself was to realize how much we are transdisciplinary at Cambridge as compared to in India. Here as a science student forever, I was attending very important and very good subject-specific meetings, but as soon as I joined Cambridge, which was my first ever international experience altogether, I realized that a lot of our writing project grants, getting students, happens at the interdisciplinary scale. So my good friend who's currently the head of department of the Department of Geography at the University of Cambridge often invites me to talks that happen there. And in one of these talks, I heard a young student from the University College London who's working on, the metro station, the London Metro, the London Underground, and the mobility networks that they're building there. And another student was from another young assistant professor from Denmark, has been looking at co-occurrences of truck drivers. So truck drivers all over the state are moving around with license plates which have GPSs, and they're building networks of co-occurrence. Immediately, I could think about using the same algorithms for co-occurrence of genes and proteins in the same places in subcellular proteomes. So we've got subcellular proteome data, we've got co-expression data, and we've always got the interactome data. And we've been looking for years and years to put these data sets together to be able to find meaning in them without losing information. And the algorithms being used by these truck driver co-occurrence formulators and scientists could immediately be applied to biology. And so we worked hands together, and we are now collaborators, both with UCL and the University of Delft at Denmark. And I think that's one very good example of how interdisciplinary science does have a very strong point to say for tomorrow's work. Industry Academy Partnership, again, INIAS is doing huge amounts of work in India currently to bring together innovators, scientists, and startups. And we have these National Frontiers of Science meetings, which I will be talking about day after tomorrow, more about how we are bringing together these two generally considered separate, exclusive silos in India for being able to work together and collaborate together. So this is just to tell you that I have been a transdisciplinary researcher forever. My graduation was in botany, post-graduation in stereochemistry, and followed by a PhD in immunology from the National Institute of Immunology. And after which I joined the National Institute of Plant Genome Research, where I worked for 10 years in crop sciences. And then I joined the University of Cambridge 3 years ago, where my focus is on food security, and my lab is very gender balanced. in both countries. So the work that I'll be presenting today is the one done by Situ and Amish in India, and Charles and Johan Salter at the University of Cambridge. Just for some of those of you who don't understand much of it, AI is any kind of technique that enables computers to mimic human intelligence using logic. Machine learning is a subset of AI. We are usually developing classifiers that are able to statistically enable machines to improve at a certain task with experience. And deep learning is now a subset of machine learning, where we make algorithms that enable the software to train itself from data sets that we have. We are applying this all of you have used many AI techniques already. Quite a lot of us plant scientists are currently using image recognition. I just use my phone and click a flower and try to see what's going on. Those of you who are more interacting with precision, with agriculturists who know precision agriculture is for real. And in India, the AI agri-tech sector is very, very strong right now. Very recently, at the National Frontiers of Science meeting, we connected with people from AGNI as well as from NASCOM, and he connected lots of crop scientists back over here. And hopefully, we think that currently with the kind of global market outreach that Indian companies, agri-tech companies have got, there is a lot of interest in. So there's a lot of interest in wanting to expand globally, while lots of Indian agri-tech companies are still focused towards the Indian market itself, which itself is huge and large. In our work, we're working on deep learning chemistry, the scent of lavender, the yellow of sunflower, and the flavor of cinnamon. The moment you think about these things, the only thing you're thinking of essentially is terpenoids, phytochemistry. There are more than 35,000 unique biochemicals produced by plants that are not required for growth and development. We are working on these to try and develop a classifier that is going to be able to do chemical fingerprinting and map it up with DNA fingerprinting, which is already well known. And for this, we've generated the plant terpenome. We have a huge database of all terpene synthases that have ever been characterized in the plant kingdom. But alongside of that, we also have about 150,000 emission profiles of the product or metabolites that these terpene synthases are making in terms of the actual emissions from the plants. And we are trying to compare the phenome with the genome in order to be able to understand what it is in the terpene synthase active site, which is specifically building these particular terpenes. So we are trying to look at the unique reaction mechanism that the terpene has got and building an ML classifier for emission profiles. In addition, a deep learning platform for active site cavity lining residues of the terpene synthases. And the best part is the transdisciplinary work that we are doing with field ecologists collecting data, biophysicists looking at the active sites, molecular biologists doing the RNA-seq analyses, and computer scientists who are writing the code for deep learning. We've also used ML classifiers for generating feature vectors for identifying 9 amino acid transactivation domains in transcription factors. As you're all aware, very small pieces of DNA are very difficult to identify using just sequence or structural information. So we're thinking, and we could show that machine learning is good at being able to classify such sequences. And this is my last example, where I show how huge numbers of data sets that we currently have for any model organism that we're working with can be brought together or reduced without losing information by using a deep learning method, or deep learning with complex networks particularly. So those of you who have not met this little beast on the left side above, this is a model organism, a unicellular green alga called Chlamydomonas reinhardtii. We're using it to understand carbon fixation. There's one unique thing about this guy, is this little single chloroplast in which you have this mysterious subcompartment without any membrane. It's just got starch sheets. This is called the pyrenoid, and the pyrenoid is one of the most incredible places where it's a concentration camp for carbon. Carbon can get inside but never get out, and carbon can get inside through diffusion or through active trains of transport fueled by these huge engines called DIC pumps, but it can't get out despite the membrane not being there, because there are these huge, leakage barriers, or the LCI-BC complex, large proteins which don't let carbon get out. So all of the carbon stays inside it, and this compartment only discovered about 130 years ago, but it was in the 1970s that it was found that it's chock full of one protein, which is rubisco, the most abundant protein in the biosphere. And this is where carbon fixation has happened. So we're trying to understand what it is that retains carbon in an inorganic way inside the pyrenoid, which can't happen anywhere outside, and the kind of concentrations you have of carbon in here are 50 times of that which you see outside in the medium, the general surrounding medium. For this model organism, as with any other model organism, we have about 17 different kinds of high throughput data sets. Full nucleogenome, the organella genome, the carbon-deprived transcriptomes, the proteomes, subcellular proteomes, and so on. So what we've done is to try and compress all of these data sets, and that is our main idea. So we've tried to pull it all together using time of world transcriptomes, and this was when we have networks for each time segment for these, and what we've got is we're merging these networks and then stacking them up and vectorizing each one of them, trying to understand how we can still be able to see these, reduce the data dimensionality, and not lose the information that is sitting there. And one of the major methods that I think we've hit upon here is this student at the University College London who used this XE algorithm. We're doing spring embedding with his help. So with that, I'd like to thank all of my students, both here and in India and in Cambridge, who have helped do this work, my collaborators in both the countries, the departments, and for funding, both University of Cambridge, BVSRC, as well as India. I'm an INSA medalist, of course, and we got funds from INSA first, and then everywhere else, CSIR, thank you, Shekhar, also SCRB and DST and the DBT. But the people whose names you won't see over here are those who are my mentors and friends, without whose help I would not have been standing here today. One of them is Devashish Mohanty, another is my supervisor, others are in the Mitra, the PSA's office, also Shekhar here, and Dr. Chandra Shah, as well as Rajesh Gokhale, I think he's in the group here today, Samir Milankar, we have a DBT at Kingston, and several friends at the Royal Botanical Gardens of Kew, and of course at my department, both in PGR and out here. With that, I'd like to end now. I'm Gitanjali Yadav, and I represent the Indian National Young Academy of Science. You're welcome to listen to me day after tomorrow when I speak only about us, who we are, what we do, and how we're helping the young scientists of India to do better and to be able to encourage and help others in policy and research. Thanks so much.